While this is only sample to present in video, as far as I sense, the Susanville Mexican American postman even know what is inside of the envelope because he was doing work based on the selection that he wanted to do. He was not happy that I purchased security system for the house, so he purposely did not deliver the day that he has to. Sometimes there is a broken bottle too. While he even put previous owner Joanne Lock an envelope in my mailbox, he was kept on returning my package by his own will while I was in South Korea in 2023. My tenant never rejected my package not to receive. Again, June 2024, he was returning some of my mail, such as from EDD and DMV. I thought I lost my driver license, but doing what postman does to my DMV license, I do not know I truly lost it or it was stolen by street people who work for the police, the corrupted one. DMV sent down my driver license, but it was returned by the postman. I had to reissue my driver license again. I got denied for my EDD when I filed. EDD told me that all my mail was returned. While this postman worked like this last 6 years, yes, I did make a complaint time to time last 6 years. But while this corrupted part of the Susanville town let go of him, just like they do to the Lassen College, I'm the one who got terminated from the Walmart pharmacy after 5 months later. Right people in Susanville, California know that it's not my fault. I got terminated based on their reason. Susanville town did it. Susanville town, did I ever yell at the customer? You come to me if you were the one who heard from me that I yelled at you during I work at the pharmacy technician at Walmart. I don't yell at customer directly. I never did. But when I'm not happy, I cannot be happy. I cannot smile. And you see me doing that, come to me and tell. And I tell about my experience, story louder due to my emotion and was mad time to time going through what I was continually going through. Especially they let whole pharmacy to spend Mariana 5 to 10 times, then spread rumor about my son in there in Susanville town, who could be done all these kind of things from who I know and who can exercise this kind of thing. It was done by the I don't know, on my cell phone. It was a people that Bangladeshi or Indian, and then they were doing all kinds of things in my Facebook, those short like a video. And that was about, who knows who has been done it. But anyway, they put those people's picture on my Facebook so that I aware what is going on to my son indirectly. I was very mad. And this was a heckler present for me to get the sense while there was a rumor in Susanville town. Okay. As you can see the screenshot of my Facebook from the cell phone, they are the one who were spreading the rumor in English in Susanville town and in California. I do not know whether they are from South Korea or they reside in USA, but I'm sure they are connected to Susanville police member and Mr. Chang, more likely, who are going after my life. And in Walmart pharmacy, if they are the one day who heard that I am yelling to you, please come to me. You all know where I live in Susanville, in Susanville, in this small town. I could not even tell what I was going through, like coming, and then in the work, in town, I could not even tell, like such as a library. I could not even tell what I'm going through, like a communist country, while I'm being abused and harassed in Susanville town, like I did from this Susanville Mexican American postman, Susanville top government member, along with the Mexican American crew, want to steer their wrong. They do not want me to blah blah about what I went through, such as Lassen College, etc. And like this postman abuse. This was main reason I was terminated from Walmart pharmacy. They were telling me that I yell at the customer, but I don't yell at the customer directly. But I wasn't going through what I was going through. I wasn't very happy. But I already put my house in the market and plan on to leave. So I'm not fighting it. But I honestly do not think it's my fault. I mean, this whole town. I mean, this part of this town, people, the way they create it in order to get my house, and basically it's all about the house. And my belief, through the experience by the sensing it, is a Mexican American. Okay, and going back to my reading. And I was still against what they have been done through the Lassen College. Of course, it shows my feeling at the work, while I communicate with the people. And non-Jew pharmacists were playing like a Christy Myer in front to get me to be terminated. I don't know. I don't know. She was playing a game in order to get me. That's for sure, I know. And then she's the one that who reported it to the manager. And then while I was out for the suspension, I was keep on fighting, toward what they did wrong, and they terminated. Fine with me. But I could doing what they are doing to me with the Lassen College in Susanville town. I didn't want to lower my head. It's too much. You will hear eventually. It's too much for me to accept the fact that they did it to me. I mean, especially I know who's behind it, and people all know what I went through, what I have been done, and doing what they were doing, maybe doing continually and not accepting their wrong and fault. And maybe that's what I'm doing this in order to live it. And I try to resolve it as much as I could, but they only trust the corrupted police member lie that I don't know, because they play. I mean, they just play and play. But I'm sorry about this, that I'm not being very clear, because it's kind of depressing. And this is like a third video that I'm doing, and I don't want to. And I mean, it was a police that who was not getting the importer of the Viagra purposely, during his 6 months investigation. I know who that was, but people didn't know, because the only reason that that person was police, they were only, I don't know, maybe they play behind it also. I don't know. I mean, the things that I was going through, the things that I was facing one after the other was not make sense. So that's what I'm doing it in order to read the record. I mean, this is not just normal. This is a horrible, overwhelming, environment that I went through last 6 years. So whether they take care of it or not take care of it, I had to read the, record. Thank you. And then going back to my reading, due to Mr. Chang's manipulated rumor, it was very, very hard to sell my house, and many Caucasian people were not interested. If a Caucasian does not get it, then if a Caucasian people is not getting my house, then who's gonna get my house while I have no job in Susanville town? They already spread with the Mr. Chang's technology. They already spread rumor in Caucasian community, not to get my house. So who's gonna get it? Once I have no money and cheap as possible, Mexican American. The Susanville Mexican American crew who were working on it for years to get my house cheap. Yes, I believe it is them. But they spread totally different rumor in the other side of the world. Anyway. As far as I sense, the Susanville Caucasian people do not care about my house. Yes, they don't care whether I have this house, They are not willing to snatch it. If they want it, then they buy it in the right way, like someone did this time. And he felt sorry that I wasn't leaving Susanville, California. As far as I sense, Susanville, California, Caucasian people do not create a certain crew to get my house cheap as possible, but Susanville hidden Mexican American government member did with Mr. Chang, and with the help of Mr. Chang manipulating technology continually. Yeah, the reason they were harassing is about the house. They were creating the house, they were creating the harassing environment so that I leave the house, leave the town, like running away from this town, and then eventually they get the house. To me, I mean, otherwise what else? And they in the other side of the world, they spread the rumor like totally differently. I don't know. Okay. Even after I returned from South Korea in October 2023, they sent somebody to Walmart pharmacy, led whole pharmacy to smell the marijuana 5 to 10 times during February 2024, and with my son's rumor in air in Susanville town. It was their plan to disturb my work and lose my job so that they can get my house cheap. And unfortunately, Nanju cooperate with them for me to be terminated my work. She was the one who reported to the pharmacy manager. And I mean, besides my matter, there was another staff who's also doing the wrong thing, but she never cared about it. She never warned about it. I don't know, somehow, I don't know what she was hearing back on me, but she was trying to get me, but she did get me. So what can I do? But it's okay. But I feel, yeah, she was acting like a Christy Myer in front in order to get me. But what can I do? So I got suspended, and then I was not stopped fighting it. Like I said, I was already planned to leave this town, and so okay, that part has been gone. And then I filed the EDD, and then because they have to dry my phone or whatsoever, postman was returning my mail from the EDD and then also the DMV. And as far as I know, the postman kind of this is what I was sensing. It seems like he knows what is inside of the envelope. And it's too much that what they were doing in hidden. It's one reason that I'm creating this video too. While there was not particular matter to be reported, at the pharmacy, yes, I wasn't polite. That's I accepted it. I wasn't polite at the work. I mean, especially after they letting the pharmacy to smell the marijuana like continually and spreading the rumor about my son. My mentor, I was angry inside, and then I cannot be happy. I cannot be smile. Doing what they were doing in this town, what I was experiencing like continually. Yes, she played and planned to get me, at the pharmacy store. She did it. So doing what they were doing, I could not be happy. So I worked with the anger inside. Yes, I didn't smile much. I couldn't. While I went through with the Lassen College already, they did wrong, and I'm the one who cannot even step into the campus. What did I do so wrong? And they are the one who did all wrong with the whole crew. But I'm the one who, to me, I just cannot accept it. And I thought that was right, for the civil right and everything. That's why one reason that I fight, I don't know, they just didn't do it. So what can I do? It's the way they are. But I hopefully time passed on, people got sense what was wrong and what was right. So I'm leaving the record. And I also, submitting the report to the Susanville Police Department. So I was suspended, like I said, I continued to fight toward the Lassen College. I guess the store manager heard something. They called me and terminated my pharmacy tech license, pharmacy technician job. I was already planned to leave Susanville, town, putting my house in the market, so it was okay for me. I know I would not continue to live in Susanville due to the conflict I have with the Lassen College. The matter was house. Yes, the matter is a house, the money. Mr. Chang and his crew are professional fraud money snatching people in South Korea. In South Korea, whole nation know this fact. While he is what he is and doing what he's doing for his life, and right now he's with the Mexican American government organization, I'm sure that they are working on earning money not in the right way. I guess one of them is my house. While Mexican American police and government organization harass my life like the Susanville police, post office, does and did, and Lassen College did, with the technology of Mr. Chang and his crew spread rumor not to listen what I said. While I was continually victimizing and being abused by these, government member, and they spread the rumor with the Mr. Chang's technology that do not listen to me. Even where I got mad, so I talked, but they already spread the rumor out there, do not listen to her. So Susanville Library staff said that nobody listened to you, what you said. In Koreatown, 9 hours over there, in Koreatown in Los Angeles, Chinese Koreans said, nobody listened to you, what you said. The sentence was exactly the same. Mr. Chang and his crew technology has been used for the certain government party to get more votes in South Korea. Through this technology, people do manipulate it by their rumor. This the same technology were being used to my life with the Mexican American Police Organization, as far as I sense, to avoid the one Mexican American Police Organization had been done in past. They want to get away. I mean, everything is kind of cooperating in order to get away what they did and get my house cheap. I think this is the point. Get away what they did wrong and then get my house cheap. And then you leave because they did wrong. And also, just like Walmart Mariana Smell event and Postman event, they harassed me all together for me to leave Susanville and get my house cheap as possible as possible as they can in hidden. Some harass in front like a postman and Lassen College, and some harass, and abuse in hidden just like a hacking. Wiretapping, Mariana Smell, and I don't know who was doing it, but they were continually doing it. It was driving me nuts. And because, at the same time, they spread the rumor on my son that my son is in trouble. So it was amazing. And then I had to visit Los Angeles like once in every month. And the event is what, in order to lose the job, and once I lose a job, no money, and then they already spread the rumor to Caucasian community that they're not going to buy the house. City wants to buy it. I don't know. Caucasian people was not interested in my house, so I was having very hard time to sell, but fortunately somebody helped. And nobody is buying it, then who's going to buy it? The leftover is Mr. Chang is not going to come to Susanville in order to leave, and some other Asian people is not going to come in Susanville to leave. So who's going to be the leftover? The Mexican American people who was working on it together with the hidden criminal member, Okay, they hack every single second of my life through computer hacking, cell phone, and wiretapping, and house bug. I fight very hard last 6 years, but even though I believe in justice and civil rights and believe in what I was believing, and government, they don't care. I mean, this was not my plan and point and goal. And I was just hoping to resolve the school matter, and then I was hoping to just move on. That was my point. But they never, in Susanville, they never do. And then I think the reason that they never do is one part of the party that has a power wants my house. I don't know. There was no resolution, so they keep on doing it, and I know I had to leave something. Okay, sorry about my this one, but first one I did good. Second, I was kind of, this is the third one, but my goal is I let White House to see and all my 3 video, and also the Blue House, since they work globally. Okay, police one network, especially Mexican American police member I deal with. Yes, they are network. Each work as a satellite in each location with their government member and then stream member. This is what I feel. Going through what I went through last 6 years, and last 6 years in this Susanville. And who exposed my identity in Susanville is a network Mexican American police. And then you will see he was the one that who greeting me first. Okay, yes, there are Mr. Chang and his crew, such as Chinese, Korean, and Indian, and Bangladesh, and etc., to support and to receive my life status through hacking, wiretapping, and bugging house, and etc. And unfortunately, public school accepted this corruption play over and over again last 16 years in USA. And this type of play does not occur in many other countries, even though the country condition other country. But in USA, it was happening over and over by corrupted police interruption to public school. I feel very disappointed. In this matter, I feel very disappointed. To me, okay, police were crossing over to the public school field to ruin students' life, and knowing school helps to establish career and job. And somehow Mexican American police members were continually doing it. They did it to Toretto, University of Toretto. They are doing to Lassen College, and my son was in school and UCSB. They are also did it to my son. They continually doing the same trend, same pattern of the work, ruining students' life, because once you finish the school, you get a good job, and they were just cutting the top of the tree so that you cannot grow. I think that's what they are doing. And then you live in the disability. They were forcing me to live in the disability by sending me all these disability information through my email. That's what they did it while I was living in Susanville. It's amazing. They shouldn't. I don't know. To me, I just don't understand the way of their living. What can I do? But everybody has a choice. It was their choice to behave that way. Look, they ruined the University of Toretto now for me to become a pharmacist. Then they pulled me from Lassen College not to become a nurse with the corrupted police. Police. It was a police power. Who's going to talk with the public school at that level? They let nursing director to pull me from the Lassen College not to become a nurse. They let nursing director to pull me from the Lassen College, and let her to create a lie, even pull me out while I was in the program, while I even had a seat. They let her to pull me out and throw her away, and then she will go back to the South Korea as they planned. Amazing public school and corrupted police power. I'm sure Susanville Police Department know what is going on between Lassen College and my life in Susanville, California. Last 7 years, I opened her, Mr. Chang, was harassing my life, and also South Korea government. In year 2023, I happened to live in South Korea due to snatching my house event. Once I put my house in the market to sell in November 2023. 22nd. There was no job and they were not resolving my school. And then I said, well, then I'm going to leave Susanville, because I have nothing to do in, Susanville. Once I put in, house in the market, well, all of different, different phobia environment was creating. And I said, what the heck is going on? And then I left to South Korea, and the people in South Korea tell me it's all about your house. And then, in US, and if you buy your house in US, it's not your house. Some of the foreigner was, asking me. I feel like humiliated over there. I mean, South Korea is my mother country, and this is my country. I'm citizen in U.S. and I also bear my 2 kids in U.S. And what the way they are corrupting the whole system, and doing all this corruption, and I feel very disappointed, and even going through last 6 years. And who's doing it? Everybody knows it's a government. People out there were knowing faster than I did. While I was in airport, in December 2022, Espanol and all these people was telling me that who's doing it to me is a government. And I was, why they are doing it? And I was wondering why they are doing it. All I could think of was only the Lassen College, but yeah, it was. Now I believe there's a government, and even some people in Susanville is also telling me that it's government. Now I believe they play corrupted member. They are linked one another, network one another, and they play. And then I used to hear the way I heard and perceived. LAPD used to play locally and statewidely, and now globally, and now globally. South Korea government had no idea. When I went to South Korea, South Korea government had no idea. I'm not that important person. They don't care. Chinese Korean in South Korea were working with the Mexican American in US. This is what I heard while I stay in South Korea. And I also heard Mr. Chang is a professional money snatching man, and that is how he accumulated his money. And he is also a robist. I assume that he was the one who hooked Chinese Korean organization that was working with two Mexican American organization in US. So he combined these two organization that he was working in South Korea. That's what I'm assuming. Okay, who has to investigate is police and law enforcement in USA. This is what I went through. So you have to investigate. It's your work. I'm doing my work that I have to do. So whether you do, I've been fighting last 6 years. They're not doing the work. Whether you do it or not do it, U.S. law enforcement, I don't care. I'm just doing my work because I have to. It was my life. I went through it, and then I should report. Okay, so. And both organizations are supported by cultural police organization. Somehow, this is an explanation. In South Korea, Chinese Korean police organization know about my life very, very well. Every single detail, what is going on. And Korean police, police officer or detective whatsoever, they don't really know. They don't know, cause they kind of they don't. But Chinese Korean police officer in Incheon or detective, they know about my life more than I do know my life. So they are the one who's working. That's what I'm thinking. And here, same thing. Mexican American, community people, the police and detective including, they are the one, they know about my life very well, okay? They even know what I was playing in South Korea. They know about my life very detailedly. So these two are the ones who's working together. And some of the Caucasian people, police, when I talk, they kind of know, but not as much as Mexican American police does. So I guess Mexican American, Chinese Korean, those two are the one who's playing together toward my life based on Mexican American police misconduct they did and the lie he created. Okay, so that's my explanation. Um, well, and then because LA, these police were playing globally. Yes, I did mail to the Interpol in Washington D.C. because, and I did, yes, I did mail to the Interpol, and Washington D.C. And at the same time, people were saying Mr. Chang, Mr. Chang, Mr. Chang. So I also mailed to the CIA in Washington for them to investigate it. And then once I sent out the mail at the post office, guess what? About 30 minutes later, another sheriff, Susanville sheriff car was driving on the Lassen Street. They, you know, especially sheriff car, sheriff jeep, they hardly drove on the Lassen Street. I guess but probably like probably about an hour later, once I came back from home, well, once I came back, probably like 10 minutes later, he was like driving a car on the Lassen Street. So I don't know. But it's too much. I don't know. It's not me. I'm just telling the fact that I experienced, and who has to investigate all this is police, law enforcement, and internal affair. Okay, so I'm doing your job, and hopefully they do their job. But what I went through the last 6 years, it wasn't good. Just like what they did to my son once I report to the internal LAPD CMS. Okay, based on all this experience I went through, I'm hoping Susanville Police and LAPD Internal Affairs to investigate police members who are doing something else unlawfully behind their uniform. They just did too much to my life with help from Mr. Chang technology, such as hacking, wiretapping, spreading, manipulating rumor in air. The member in South Korea who they work with the Mexican in US said, the Chinese Korean, the power of blocking my school and career is not Mr. Chang, but US side while I stay in South Korea 2023. The power of blocking my school and career is not it's not Mr. Chang. People in South Korea said Mr. Chang do not have much power. Then I guess Mexican American police and organization, and they are the one, Mexican American police organization and Susanville government, and maybe they are the one that, they are the one in USA with the power of blocking my school and career is not Mr. Chang. USA side, Chang, but US side, while I stay in South Korea in 2023. People in South Korea say Mr. Chang do not have much power. They describe Mr. Chang as, tiger without teeth now. So he's a tiger. He used to be a tiger. He might be something, okay, in past, but now he has no teeth. Okay, that's what people was describing toward Mr. Chang. And then he police South Korea police say that he's professional money snatching person, fraudly. So then I guess Mexican American police organization are the one in US with the Susanville government member with whom they play together with the Mexican American member. So they are the one who was blocking my nursing career in Susanville in California, based on their play with the lie to the whole world. Now I'm going to tell what I went through while I lived in Susanville last 6 years. On August 16, 2018, I drove to Susanville to attend 10 months of LBM program. When I arrived on McDonald parking lot on Main Street, black and white Jeep, police car passed by after 5 minutes later. It was a police Jeep who greeted me first when I arrived in Susanville, California. I think he got notified by the hacker, once I arrived in Susanville, so he was passing by. On third week, which was September 14, 2018, I was removed from by the Lassen College nursing director Christy Myer for no reason. She created a lie. I mean, there is a 29 student who saw me. What is going on? There was nothing much. There's nothing special. It was just, I didn't do anything. I was just standing in the lab. But anyway. No reason. On September 14, 2018, the day that I was removed from by the nursing college nursing director, she let 29 students to play the individually packed narcotics such as Tylenol 3 and Percocet. By feeding the patient practice, the Tylenol 3 was like a colorful individually lamp, and Percocet was aluminum wrap, and then every individual pack had I don't want to say that, but because I already report 2007. But it's the truth. 29 students saw it, and then I saw it, and then I was just I didn't want to get involved, but I was just standing up. So I flipped, and then there was all this information, the drug information, and then I asked her, when she was removing me, I said, well, you are the one that who, I mean, truly, she's the one that who did wrong, and then I'm the one that who's being expelled. I don't know, maybe maybe we call this corruption, government corruption, doing what they were doing. But look, I don't know, it was amazing. I maybe it was they did it too much, like over and over again. I could not let it go. Maybe if they did it once to my life, I let it go, and all the way up to the Susanville problem, I let it go. Even citrus, what they did, I tried to resolve it rather than hanging on the problem, but they were not resolving it, but instead they will keep on creating the problem one after the other. That's what I'm creating this, and I was being so against it. Okay, who are these? And police. Who initiated all this is police. Mr. Chang, who hooked? It wasn't. I hope they investigate it, but I don't know. It's up to them. But as much I've been experienced. I went through it, and my life went through it over and over again. So I have to tell the police. And people telling me that tell the police. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Like all as you see all these, like record that I did. But there was nothing involved. But except that they blame on me. While I was victimized, they blame on me. Okay. Yeah, she let her place narcotics such as Tylenol 3 and Percocet by feeding the patient. On September 29, 2018, Dean Patrick wrote 100% lie document and made a suspension. And knowing that I bought a house in Susanville, Dean Patrick left in 2019. While people could create another reason, or he has to leave this, so he left. But he did what he did to me. But I purchased a house to settle, so he left the Lassen College. I know no one in Susanville, and just I don't know anyone in Susanville. I just start to attend the Lassen College. It's been only third week, and I'm over 3.5 GPA student, never been warned from the work and school in past in US, while I was living in 30 years of life. But last 6 years, it was amazing. I don't know, maybe it's Mr. Chang's power or Mexican American police power. I don't know. It was just crazy. It was compared to what I used to live US from 1984 to 2012, almost 11, for 30 years, it wasn't this much crazy. But once I returned, I mean, I just could not understand the society. I don't know why they are doing what they are doing, because they play, because they want to, I don't know. And in South Korea, Mr. Chang is not that, powerful person. He's not very powerful person. He cannot do much. He, a lot of people call he's a fraud, money snatching people. They look down on him, and he's not very powerful person. But here in US, it's a Mr. Chang, it's a Mr. Chang, and in South Korea, people say no, it's the US society is doing it. It's not South Korea. So the way I assume is, Mexican American police and Mexican American, government member, and they are the one who's, exercising their power, and at the same time, and then some of the Caucasian, government member, they are cooperating just like Lassen College. And other than that, I don't understand. Okay, well, I didn't do anything wrong in school, and then actually she's the one that who, the nursing director, she's the one that who did wrong, but I'm the one that who cannot even step into the campus. Last 6 years in this town, and she's still teaching the nursing, as a director. Then whose power are the one day who creates all these ruining circumstance, and I believe it's a police, and originally network Mexican American police organization member who plays behind their uniform locally, statewide, and globally. When I arrived in Susanville, I noticed my identity has been spread with the rumor letter. With technology of Mr. Chang and his crew have, from South Korea through SNS already. Police member who plays work with the last, and police member who play who work with the Lassen College nursing director to expel me from the program. I think before I they plan on expel me once I arrived to Susanville. and and then, why this network Mexican American police member even let me to come to Susanville, California in 2018. If they reject my application, and, they don't have to, and I don't have to come to Susanville, I have a more chance in, down in Los Angeles, to look around. But the problem is because Christy Myer was on Europe vacation during 2018 and 2018 summer vacation. So she was almost out during summer vacation, and Mexican American police member, and they were not able to talk with her. So, they decided, so they plan to expel me once I arrived at Susanville while I attend the LVM program. Knowing what police already did in Glendora Police Department in September 2017 through their second misconduct, I know who was behind all these events in Susanville, California. I mean, who has almost like a similar, society position level to talk to the, college nursing director police. And they say, mafia, give me a break. The true mafia, or, okay, in order to, I don't know. Okay. Yes, I know. I mean, I know who's doing it behind it. I mean, they already did it once in 2017. They are doing it again in 2018. So, it was corrupted U.S. police who were exercising their power to ruin my normal life with the Mr. Chang, who provide technology to Mexican American Police Organization. I went to LAPD Internal Affairs located in 231 North Figueroa Street in Los Angeles, in California, to tell about Mexican American Police Organization, how they exercise their power on my life in October 2018. Again, even though based on their request, I forgive their second misconduct in Glendora, California in September 2017. Look what they are doing. It's too much what they did, to be honest. And everybody agreed that, everybody agrees that, many people is agreed that they did too much, but some people, I don't know, the one day who they play behind together. Okay, but I happened to find out all the record LAPD, internal affair in March 2018 was all gone. There was no record. It's like I never visit that, LAPD internal affair, that location. LAPD internal affair create a lie that I never visit them by erasing my March visit record, even though I did in March 2018. And through that visit, their staff contacted UCSB and let UCSB dean to force my son to withdraw all his classes in early April 2018. They erased, but they contact UCSB and force my son to withdraw, and nothing is there. This is it's so depressing. It's too much what they are doing. Too much. And then when I came, again they ruin, again. It's like, again. What LAPD Internal Affairs did was they did not want to investigate my University of Toronto event, through which I submitted the report in March 2018. Instead, they revenged my son that I made a report. This is the police? Is that the police? This is actually, they did it. They erased the whole thing. This is how U.S. police system works. It's amazing. Okay, this U.S. is not third country. It used to be a very good country with the strict law and rule. But I don't know, California, maybe they are ruining only California, or some other places different. I don't know. I will find that out. But last 6 years, I live evenly almost like 40 years. And last 6 to 7 years was amazing. It was worse. What I was going through and what I was experiencing is worse than third country, corruption, government. And what I was in was, communist environment in freedom country. I cannot talk. What I was victimizing, I cannot, I couldn't do anything, just like what they were doing in Susanville. And then people out there knew. I was talking with the people in Reno. They knew they were blocking my life every single corner, here. So what can I do? It's their way. So, but fortunately somebody bought the house, and it's better to leave for them. And it's not everybody is bad. There is some good people that I made a friend, and I feel sorry doing what I'm doing to them. But there is also a bad part in town. They were ruining the town. I just could not stand the Mexican American police organization, playing with the Mr. Chang. It's the one reason that they are doing over and over again. So I bought a house in Susanville. My plan was, they knew I was going back to the South Korea in order to, after I graduated. But they play with the lie that I got charged. Okay, I dragged Mr. Lee and charged for it, and that's how I failed my University of Toronto pharmacy career. So they had to stop for me to attend any nursing school, so that their lie to become true. They Mr. Chang and Mexican American police play to the whole world with a lie. So they have to make a lie to become true. That's why they were blocking that's why they were blocking my school to be attended, to attend it in California. I know I would, they were exercising power, but I actually heard that, sentence from ex-president in Susanville in education field. Yeah. So, yes, they play together with the Mr. Chang. Well, Mexican American police member and government member exercise their power in front. In hidden, all of my life were being hacked through cell phone, computer, bugging house, including my auto, even my car. Then my information was handed out to the Mexican American Police Organization member, and through the man in Southern California. Once I started to live in Susanville, California, Mexican American police member and Mr. Chang spread rumor in Susanville, California that who did my University of Toronto event is Caucasian police. by looking at my video, such as 16 years of my life has been wiped out, and video for LAPD internal affair to investigate it, who received my information originally in 2008 was Mexican American police, who charged Mr. Lee in 2000. There is 3 persons who worked for him. Yes, Mr. Lee handed out my information that I am in fake marriage to the same person who were handed out Mr. Lee information in 2000 to that same Mexican American policeman. So all I thought was Mexican American police. But all of a sudden, 2019, when I start to, live in Susanville, they purportedly spread the rumor. Who did it? It's Caucasian police. So okay, where is the Caucasian police? Whoever they did is a police. So whether it's Mexican, whether it's Caucasian, it's a police who did it. So I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know what people in Susanville town heard, but whoever people rent my home started to ruin, inside of my house, inside of the work I have done for my house. I guess with the Mr. Chang technology and Mexican American police organization create bad image toward me with the jealousy I got my house cheap. It was like harassing. People was harassing my, house, here and there. They were scratching it, and they were, I don't know. This is my 3rd video, and it's kind of depressing. And what they have been done, what nothing has been resolved, anything. But what can I do? I mean, without not even resolving it, they are adding up. I mean, non-Jew, I mean, I don't know. I mean, some people will say the lie, some people will say the truth. So I don't know. Excuse me. Excuse me. Or there's a good people and there's a bad people in the world. And even I did not do anything wrong, or without knowing why I have to be targeted by people in Susanville town, I just assumed the harassment was due to the conflict I have with the Lassen College. Mr. Chang, but it wasn't only Lassen College conflict. There was a house matter. They wanted to get the house. And Mr. Chang and Mexican American police member create this way together to my life. Yes, there was additional besides Lassen College for my house to get it. And plan on getting my house at the end. No job, no school result, and well, okay, then I'm going to leave the town. That's what I was planning to do in 2022. And then they will snatch. And then I came back from the South Korea in 2023. It's the same condition. Where you will lose a job and you will have no money, and people in Caucasian people, they want me to stay in this town, but I have no money, and circumstance is hard. Then who's going to buy the house? The one who was working on it, the one who was manipulating and work on it to get my house as cheap as possible. Yeah. So it's about the house too. And like the dog picture, and they sent the dog to my house, and I was being harassed in this town, and I don't know why. And I thought because I have a conflict with the Lassen College. No, Lassen College, it was one of them. They were creating the harassment in order to get my house. So eventually I leave this town. That was their main goal. I think a Mexican American police member and government and Mr. Chang. And Susanville prison was partially removed in April 2021. Prison was not removed due to my Facebook. Excuse me. My Facebook does not have that much power. While what police and public school in US do to my life over and over again last 14 years, shouldn't I do anything like that to them? I cannot even create a Facebook and tell the truth. While Mexican American police create a lie and wrap my life with their lie in Susanville, California town. In September 2017, Mexican American police organization ruined my citrus college and let me lose the job. But based on police request, I forgave the Caucasian police officer, which was a police second misconduct, besides University of Toronto event. But this network, Mexican American Police Organization, did again in Susanville, California, in September 2018. When I came, they did it. They did not care about my cost of moving and losing another job. All they thought was they have the power with the Christy Mayor who can do the misconduct for them. And they even pulled me from Airbnb program with no reason while I even have a seat. Mexican American Police Organization planned to harass my life intensely so that I return to South Korea so that they can get away what they have in play for 5 years while I was out of USA. They played, a lot, thinking that I would never return to USA with the Mr. Chang. The lie, well, you are the bad one, and we are the good one, and you are a troublemaker. I noticed that these police, they make people troublemaker, and even creating. They're, I don't know. They, I, okay, okay. Uh, so even they pulled me from the Airbnb program with no reason while I, even have a seat. Mexican American Police Organization planned to harass my life intensely so that I return to South Korea, so they can get away. And I cannot attend Lassen College to become a nurse because they already spread lie with the Mr. Chang that I was charged for the threatening to the whole world, while I live in South Korea from 2012 to 2017. This was the reason Mexican American Police Organization, along with their side government member, blocked me to attend the nursing program in California. I kind of assume and sense, but I actually heard verbally from Mrs. M, who was ex-president in Susanville Education Field, that I might be okay to study my nursing in other state, but not in California in December 2023. So Mexican American Police Organization, along with Mexican American government member, they were blocking me to attend nursing, school, so that their lie and their play need to become true by exercising their government power in California and U.S. society. If a Susanville government member blame on my Facebook that town lost the part of the prison job, I say that Lassen College played fair to the end with the hidden Mexican American police and Susanville government member. Lassen College suspension was 2 years, so I waited. So I waited 2 years, that 2 year. Then, I knocked on the Lassen College in April 2020. Dean Davis Murphy told me that I need to wait 1 more year. So I waited 1 more year. So totally I waited net 3 years based on their, telling me. They are the one who was telling me. I noticed starting year 2021, my son was not answering my phone. So does Mr. Lee. Mexican American Police Organization harassed Mr. Lee, blaming, what is going on, what they have been done to Mr. Lee. This is what they are with the Mr. I don't know. Anyway, they blame on Mr. Lee, but Mr. Lee has a personality and kissing, their butt very well, but now they are getting along well, I think. So, after waiting that 3 years, I knocked on the Lassen College in April, 2021 again. Then Davis Murphy told me that I need to verification from the doctor that I'm okay to attend the school. Look at this, the circumstance of my life has been created by Mexican American police lie. I'm troublemaker who has been charged for threatening the Mexican American police created to my life. And I think it was like all over. With the Mr. Chang's technology, they spread it like throughout California. And I think they know that, just like Mrs. M. Okay, everyone believed that Mexican American police, because he was U.S. police and he's saying that, and who would not believe it, his word, because everything was okay to return to Lassen College. Now Christy Myer created a fraud restraining order on August 21st, 2021, again saying that I threatened her husband, her kids, and while I attended 3 weeks of 2018 LBM program. So who's behind the Christy Mayer is Mexican American, police organization member, and with the some of the Caucasian police member who they play together. See, Dredd, who created Mexican American police originally, who received my, information back in 2008. So they were repeating the same thing, thinking that I was charged for it. Christy Myer was at the court on September 8, 2018. Dean Davis Murphy was waiting at the Susanville court parking space lot for the result. When there was no other way but not to extend my return to Lassen College, because Lassen College failed to block my return, then because the court denied their order, court did their request, because there was no such evidence. They created, I had to buy a lawyer for this case. I spent about $4,500 for totally for school. I spent about $5,000, all this consultation and everything. There was no evidence, and they were going to wrap me up with the rubber stamp from the court. But because I bought a lawyer and was doing step by step, and they couldn't wrap my life with the lie again. So the court denied it. So Dean Davis Murphy issued another suspension in September 2023 to block my return to Lassen College. They know. So while right now, even they know everything, they don't change. I don't know. It's just the way they are. And then part of it, they want to get my house, the one that was corrupted. So to me, to my opinion, who's original power, Mexican American Police Organization, and on the top of it, corrupted government member, Caucasian government member, they play together, they agree to it. So this is a current situation, current my life situation in Susanville. I don't want to leave, and because knowing the situation, they want to get my house cheap. And this with the they are getting help from the Mr. Chang technology, spread the word, spread the rumor in society, so that they don't buy my house. Then my house, I have no other way not to sell. I needed money. Who's gonna get it? Mexican American, the member who was working on it. You will see how they've been working on it in order to get it cheap. Christy Mayer, yeah. So they issue the suspension. So while all Lassen College did wrong, and I'm the one who cannot even step into the campus last 6 years in Susanville. I could not accept this condition, and I did not want to lower my head toward this condition. Maybe if I victimized maybe 1 or 2 times, and I would let it go. They were continually doing it last 16 years, and intensely last 6 years. They were totally, they want me up. Why? It's too much that I could forgive. It's too much to let it go. It's too much, ignore it. So I can. At this moment, I can. And if they didn't, like I mentioned in, LAPD CMS, LA internal LAPD internal affair video. If they didn't play, my mother would not die. My mother has 3 brothers and 2 sisters, totally 6 kids. My mother, and she's about 3rd or 4th, and she's the only one who passed away due to their harassment. And how am I? And then that is not enough. They flipped my life. That is not enough. They were harassing my kids down in Los Angeles, while I was fighting toward the Lassen College. It's too much what they are doing. And then, nobody, and the law enforcement are the one who has to take care of this matter, but they are the one who plays. how how U.S. society is going to be, how it's going to be. I don't know. I don't know. They are the one. It's just, this is a big chunk, and the little by little harassment, it was amazing. It's the one, and I know what type of organization it is. That's what I'm, also creating another, video for the Blue House, to represent, Blue House in South Korea to see. They gotta do something. I don't going through what I went through, so that's what I'm kind of leaving the record, that what I went through. This is not what the police has to do. This is not what the teacher has to do. This is not what the government has to do to the citizen. No matter what, to me, it's not their work, but they are doing this type of work while they sit in the government position. And there, in my YouTube channel, there is a video that I upload the all fraud document, and the document. I mean the complaint form that I worked for the school last 6 years. And when in year 2021, when they were doing what they are doing, Christy Myer and Lassen College Dean Davis Murphy, I got really mad, and I did report the narcotic matter to Susanville Police Department, but they didn't do anything. And people was telling me that go to police and tell her. Ah, I don't I okay. And my laptop has been stolen while I was in the Susanville library, and I kind of sensed that my stolen laptop information has been handed out to the Susanville, California Mexican American police member, and he was telling everybody that how cheap I think he got that information from the street member that street people is working for the anyway, he had that information, so he was blabbing all over in Susanville town that how cheap I got my house, and without truly knowing. I mean, it was it was amazing what I went through. And once I bought a house, and then Wells Fargo Bank withdraw the money during escrow, and it telling me that, and then California franchise tax has been withdraw your money. And then who has this type of power to contact each government department to verify? Mexican American police through their government member. California franchise tax department withdraw money to verify my housing fund with the same excuse they created in 2009. This excuse verification was based on Mexican American police, letting California franchise tax department back in 2009. It's the same Mexican American police, who received my information back in 2008, was the one day who tried to verify my housing, house buying fund in January 2019. Once I returned to California, my mother home, that Mexican American police, office who received my, information in 2008, ordered to California franchise tax to charge me certain taxes, reasoning that I hold a farmer's tax license. I think they were connecting in one another. So he was telling something to the franchise tax, and the California franchise tax was charging me with, which they never have been done before. So I issued a pharmacy tech license, in 2000. There was, because I was going to school, there was a year that I have not report the income tax, but they never tell me anything. But there was a year I did not report the income tax, but California franchise tax department never sent me any issue through post mail. But once I was involved with this Mexican American police member, California franchise tax charged me approximately $3,000 to pay that I did not report the income tax in 2008 while I attended the University of Toronto. I resolved this issue in 2009. Now again, 10 years later, they are telling me this, they brought up the same issue, and then where did you get the money? So I'm going to get the money. This is how they were behaving. So, and then they told me that the reason that, and how did you get the house, and then that's what they were asking me. Once I contact the California franchise tax, and then you bought the house, how did you get it? That's what they were, But at the beginning they charge you. So because because of the matter that is back in 2009. I think it was a matter that she was mentioning at the beginning, and then she was asking me, how did you get the money to to buy the house? Okay, so I resolved this issue in 2009. Now again, this same Mexican American police member contacted California Franchise Tax Department to find out how I was able to buy a house, because he knew I would be suffer financially doing what they were doing, to back up my life in California. As Mexican American police member thought I shouldn't have money due to their harassment since 2009. Yes. They spread the rumor to my life wherever I go in Southern California by Mexican American police organization or Mexican American community people. They, he know that he spread the lie that I got charged for it. So they by his creation of lie, he was ruining my life, and he knew that my life would be ruined. Yes, nothing worked. Nothing worked. Nothing worked unlike a past before I involved this Mexican American police member. One reason I left to South Korea in January 2012. Doing what they have been done to my life 14 years was not enough. My mother hasn't passed, losing my son to school, and all this not enough. Mexican American police organization government member, they plan to get my Susanville house cheap as possible with the Mr. Chang, the man who's professional to snatching people's money in wrong way. So Mr. Chang took care of my life, such as wiretapping, hacking. They knew like every single detail of your life. I mean, it was amazing. If you go to the bank and buy your debit card, it seems like they were hacking. And then like 5 or 10 minutes later, and then our the donation people is calling you, why you want to donate the money, and da. And I don't know, that's how I was sensing it. And then when I went to bank, and the bank system was not working, so teller was, oh, come on, and they were verifying my fund while I was working at the Walmart pharmacy. I was busy, and yeah, there was such a income, like about $5,000 to $6,000 in my as a balance. And then once I came out, while I was driving, and donation people call, well, would you like to donate the money for the police, and firefighter and veteran, and then I don't know whether they truly spending it or not spending it. So that's how the system was working, but I don't know. But that's how I was sensing it. They tried to get the money legally, but at the same time they were hacking everything of your life. And that's my information. Okay, and that system, and I think that side, and maybe Mr. Chang is providing maybe high technology enough to play with. So I don't know. Anyway, I've been they brought my okay, and yeah, so who play? I mean, when I came 2017 August, everybody Hispanic community, Mr. Chang police, Mr. Chang police, and I don't care whether he got police, because I never seen Mr. Chang since 2013. while I lived, okay, 2013, I went his company in order to work. 3 months, there was a period. And after that, I never seen, and we never talked, and period. And then, yes, there was a time to time, there was a harassment, but it was done by the police. So maybe, I don't know. And it's the things that police has to investigate it. And then all of a sudden, when I came, everything is Mr. Chang. But who was exercising the physical real power was the Mexican American police organization and their government side people, like, my school and everything, because they play their lie to South Korea. They play. So, I don't know, since, people in Nanju was telling D that, who's harassing my life is Mr. Chang. And, here, African American, there also, well, there was a hardcore Mr. Chang. So I don't know. So I sent the post mayor to, CIA in Washington D.C. Please verify this person and look at my video. And that's like how much I could do. It's your work, it's not my work. I have my work as of, as pharmacy tech. If I get a job, I have to do my work correctly. I want them to do their work correctly, but they were not doing it. Government, they were not doing it. But it's my, as a citizen, this is what I have to do: file a complaint and leave a record. And it's overwhelming, horrible, environment that I went through. So I want to leave the record. So, Mexican American police and government members exercise their power in Susanville so that I can return to college. Yeah, and that's about it. And then, yeah, and then I will tell what they have been done to my house in order to get it. Right now, I'm in the process of selling my house. And then, my buyer went to the building department, was asking something. And so he printed out the information on my house. And then, he recognized that, well, your D number, your parcel number is a different. As you could see, the the parcel number on the D and parcel number on the building department from the assessor is different. I purchased my house through Zillow website in January 2019. I contacted the agent in Zillow website. The auction company was the one that who entered all this data, for the house at the Zillow website that I, when I purchased in January 2019. The auction document data and the Zillow, website data was matching by the time that I purchased. And, the selling, the selling information was listed in auction company from 2017 and 2019. On same web page was on and off. Like sometimes it's selling, sometimes not, sometimes up, sometimes it's selling. It's been on and off for 2 years as far as I know. And this was more, and this, my house is more than 50 years old. But after I purchased my house, somebody changed all my house data. Someone shrink it. As you could see, 2.5 to 1.77, 1488 to 1334. It has been changed, but but when I purchased, there was only one website. But after I purchased my house, they created another website, another web page at the Zillow. I think these kind of hacking thing, and Mr. Chang and his crew is providing it. And then, who's going to buy my house in Susanville? And they are the one they're working together in order to get my house. That's what I'm thinking. And this tiny home completion document has stolen while I stay in South Korea. As you can see, my tiny house is not completed. He created a fraud, hidden, he created a fraud. So hidden Susanville Mexican American police told Mr. Chang in South Korea to steal that document, through middleman. So while I upload some of document by taking photo through my cell phone, while I was in South Korea, they capture all these documents through the cell phone, and then so somebody they and then they look what document I have, because they are they going after my house. So they told them to still they want to find out what document they want to know every single detail, even like 1 micrometer of your life, so that they could plan on snatching your house. I don't know, that's what I was sensing it. And then somebody came in my room, and then they stole only that document among probably like 100 documents. They pick only that one, because and I said, oh, how they could pick it up, only that document, because I was like taking a photo with the cell phone, and they could capture by hacking with the camera what document I have it all. So they only stole my things. And while I was in South Korea in 2023, everybody was kind of forcing or telling me to sell my house cheap, and you better be get out from that town. That's what they were telling me, so that I could sell my house cheap as possible, just to run it away from the town. That's what was people was telling me. And then somebody, their the member who was working for my house to get cheap, send the post mayor, and then somebody sent an offer to buy my house with the exactly amount that I approximately exactly amount I put into that house. My 6 years work, nothing. It's too much what they're doing. And then they already have a good job. I mean, if they are the one that they already have a good job and everything. And I've been victimized. This is my dad's money, all I have. While I have like a $400 social security benefit, they let me made it that way due to their harassment. That's not enough. They want to get my house so cheap. And then I have to shut my mouth up and do nothing, and cannot even create the Facebook, so that they could do whatever they want, and for their own benefit. And then while I was fighting toward the Lassen College, and they harassed my son down in Los Angeles. As everybody knows, down in Los Angeles, who's doing it is Mexican American, and they move like a whole crew. I don't know. And Mr. Chang is working with the Mexican American community. I think the middleman lives with the Mexican American woman, and then that's how they spread the rumor and things like that. Actually, they are using their community, and it's not good. And if you don't want to hear, then you really got to do something, what is going on in your community, Mexican American. So yeah. And so this was one Mexican American police member and Susanville government member and Mr. Chang was doing, in order to get my house. I think Mr. Chang is kind of side work person who's helping in order to create that environment, with all this technology that he has. And again, and knowing what they already have been done to victimize my life, and thus please, I'm hoping Susanville Police Department to investigate this matter, including manipulating my house data in city assessor system. Due to their prey, I have I had to leave Susanville town in December 2022, which was unnecessary. I mean, it was totally unnecessary. It was their play. Last 16 years, I never played. It was their play, on and on and on. And I've been victimized. I try, I live very, very hard. And they ruining like one after the other with the power of the corrupted, police member do. And then it seems like once I made a post in the Facebook, they're back and forth on the Lassen Street, the black and white car. I don't know. See, I heard that why they doing what they are doing, and people were saying it's gang stuck, and I don't know. See, they are kind of smart in some way, but they're not wise enough to live their life right. And who could, who there is a system to investigate it. There is a system to take care, and I don't know. I'm just doing my work. So, you know, so if I was not involved with this, corrupted Mexican American police government member and, Mr. Chang originally in order to snatch my house, you know, anyway, so this is what I went through, and I will make it was kind of I was kind of depressing and tired in order to bring these things on and on, but I know I have to make it something, and maybe I will reshape this video eventually once more, but I want people to know roughly what are the contents of this video, and I'm going to submit it to the Susanville Police Department so that they could work it out with the LAPD. I mean, my information is already well known all over the world. It's up to them whether they take care or not take care. It's up to them. And as you wish, as police people, as a human being or as an individual, you go to hospital, you go to doctor office, and you want them to work what they have to do. I hope police, government people they do their own work right. Okay, thank you.